All right, but I said a while back that I was gonna read this back to everybody because with New Year's coming up, New Year's resolutions and all that stuff, and we vaguely talked about this multiple times, but I orchestrated it in a way where people actually understand how they could use it. Charles Duhigg, The Power of Habit. Ultimately, he's getting into how your brain processes habits in a 3-part loop. So routine, reward, and I guess figuring out how those two, cue, routine, reward, but figuring out what the cue is going to help you get over whatever the bad habit might be.
The cue or the trigger?
Not necessarily. Well, yeah, you could use it synonymously, right?
Yeah.
The trigger, he says, James Clear gets into that a little bit more opposed to Charles Duhigg, right? But you wake up in the morning, you go to the washroom, typically you're going to brush your teeth, right? So you walk in, that's kind of like your cue. Routine every morning, you're going to do that first thing as soon as you walk in. Reward, you get the minty fresh feeling, right? Mm-hmm. So now if it's a bad habit, and you guys could bring up your bad habits if you want, I could kind of walk you through it if you want. But whatever it is, you got to get close to figuring out what that loop looks like for you. So if it's like in this case, you want to brush your teeth, you want to feel fresh, you want to feel good. That's sort of the cycle every time, right? But if it's smoking, if it's eating bad, if it's porn, if it's alcohol, if it's whatever.
Check.
And this guy said he's going to tune out. Trying to save your life. You got to figure out what that looks like for you. Like, what are you getting from it? So smoking could be as a result of like you're feeling stressed out. The routine for that could be, all right, cool, I'm going to go grab the smoke, I'm going to smoke it, right? And then the reward is you feel relaxed. You got to start experimenting to understand how that operates for you because it could be different for other people. Example, in the scenario that I just used, it was more mental, but it could also be chemical or biological. Like maybe you're actually addicted to the nicotine, which is like a whole nother thing, but the loop still applies. Yeah.
That's real. That's very valid.
You get what I'm saying? But you have to isolate the cue and then figure out, okay, so when this happens is when I'm drawing for the cigarette. Or when this happens, I'm about to pour myself another drink. Once you start figuring out what that is, that's your chance to switch it and replace it with another routine. So whatever that new routine becomes. So in the event of, I keep using this example just because it's common and he uses it in the book as well. You're about to have a cigarette. You're about to have a smoke because you're stressed out. All right. So you've identified, this is stressing me out, whatever this is. Maybe it's an event that happened at work. You know what I mean? Maybe it's the kids, maybe it's the ex-wife, maybe it's the ex-girlfriend, maybe it's the current girlfriend, like, so yeah, or boyfriend or husband, right, as Priya takes us on.
No, I had a question.
Go for it, run it.
It had nothing to do with that. In the book, does he talk about, so you're saying like he's using the example of a cigarette and as a bad cue, right? So like something bad happens, you reach for a cigarette. Does he ever talk about like using the bad habit is also like a good thing? So like, let's say you're stressed out and you go for a cigarette, but then also let's say you're relaxed and you want a cigarette. Like, does he talk about anything like that?
Yeah. But this is just the example that I'm using.
No. I'm saying like, is there a way, because like in two scenarios, the cigarette is two different things. It's a bad habit and it's a reward.
For sure.
So like, does he talk about that or how to differentiate the two and like how to...
It would be up for you. That's actually what I'm saying, essentially, with the figuring out and identifying what causes a loop. It doesn't have to be stress. It could be people. You're in a crowd. Now, this group of people smokes. You want to go for a smoke. It could be I'm at the club. All right, cool. Whenever I'm at the club, I got to go smoke. It could be your morning walk, and every time you go for a walk, you have a coffee and a cigarette. Like, you know what I mean? It could be anything. It doesn't have to be stress. But
I'm just saying you use the same end, like the same destination for like two different variables.
Correct.
So like one because you're happy, one because you're stressed.
For sure.
But the outcome is the same.
Basically.
For sure.
Happy you asked that.
That.
So I was wondering if he talks about or touches on that.
He doesn't say it exactly like that. I'm just using the example that I'm saying right now. It could be any habit. What he's going to teach you is to learn and figure out what the cue is. What is making you go for that? It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to be a good thing. What is the thing? Period. And then you move forward with that. You get what I mean? And then obviously you isolate it, figure out what's causing it. There's actually a really good example that they use. I was going to bring this up last week when we were talking about Starbucks. He wasn't joking when he said he's going to queue out.
I'm listening. Yeah. We're talking about Starbucks. Last week we were talking about Starbucks.
Yeah. So they notice, these guys do so much research into what they're doing.
I know, yeah.
And they equip their staff so well, but they started to notice at a certain time of the day, customer service sort of dips and people are getting more stressed out at work on a regular. So they came up with this thing, and the acronym is LATTE. So they basically told them at a certain time, start listening to the customers more, acknowledge them. What is the complaint? So when they're complaining or whatever it is, take action, thank the customer, explain why it happened. Okay. So they came up with a plan to address their stress levels and what the habit loop was for them at that point. Like, so they're reducing their stress by coming up with this plan to, identify with what's causing the plan or what's causing their customer service levels to drop somewhat, right? Anywho, so if you're looking to create new habits or lose habits, and this is a New Year's resolution goal, read the book, listen to the book. I'm just giving you a quick glimpse of it, but there's so much more that it carries that'll actually help you. We always say this, the average goal doesn't last more than 2 weeks, or New Year's resolution for that matter. At least this will set you up to have science on your favor, to have subconscious behavior on your favor, on your side, and the possibility of actually making it a lifestyle versus just a New Year's resolution and you're waiting for 2027. I know 26 is coming up, I'm just saying. And then you're repeating it all over again, One more thing that I'll add in that he doesn't emphasize, but this is really important. He says this whole thing about keystone habits. And the concept of that is you might have a friend or you might even be that person, and I've been that person, where I want to change everything. I'm going to do this year. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And it's like, everything falls apart.
Yeah. So with one or two?
One.
Just one?
Yeah. Keystone habit is one thing that you're guaranteed that you're going to do on a regular basis. It could be as small as I'm going to wake up in the morning and have a glass of water. It could be as small as soon as my eyes open, I'm going to say an affirmation. You start stacking those small wins. What that does for you is it changes your belief system. So now you're like, I could change. I could win. And it slowly builds on that. And now all of a sudden you're looking at other habits that you might have with more confidence, with the possibility of
attaching another one.
Yeah,
compounding. It works the same as interest. It's like compounding.
Sort of, but it gives you that willpower, or that, not even willpower, that belief that, okay, so things can change.
The momentum.
Exactly. Possibility and just like moving into that. But even touching on willpower alone, like that's a whole nother thing too, that he touches on as well, where, remember that marshmallow example with the kids, that study? They're going to give you a marshmallow to a bunch of grade 4 kids.
Don't ask, just explain, Because I'm about to tune back up.
No, it was really popular.
I'm joking.
Where they go, there was a bunch of 4-year-olds or grade 4s, I don't remember, I think it's 4-year-olds, and they did a research study. So they said, hey, we're going to give you this marshmallow, but wait 15 minutes. If you don't eat it in 15 minutes, we'll give you a second one. So they were testing the kids' patience, and 70% of them ate that marshmallow as soon as the person walked away.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, whereas the kids that didn't and waited the 15 minutes, they checked in with them again several years later when they were grown up, and they noticed how many things that they could identify with them, where they were...
How old are they, when they did this test?
They're 4 years old.
4 years old? Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, and yeah.
Saying you're giving it up. You're like
I'm thinking about my kids. I'm like, that marshmallow's long gone.
But you know what's... But this is the whole thing about willpower, right? So... They noticed when they got back with the people and they checked in with them again, they had the best grades. They're more likely to be more popular on average. They were less likely to have drug addictions. They were overall just likely to be more successful and popular and friendly and just have better traits with that, opposed to just giving into the instant gratification part. So willpower itself, he stresses on the concept of it being like a muscle. So
you have to train.
Exactly.
And build.
Exactly.
There was a trend on social media with something exactly like this. I think it was like last year.
Yeah.
And it's basically you prop a camera up in front of your kid, and there's like a bowl of candy, or like there's candy, and it's like, okay, just wait. And when you get back, like I'll give you 3 pieces or whatever. And then the parent would leave the room and then would watch to see like if the kids would wait or just eat it or whatever. And the big one that went around was Kylie Jenner's daughter, Stormy. So she's sitting there and she goes close to it and then she starts singing this song and she's like, patience, literally, and wait and just waiting. And that went viral. And then she came back and then gave her like the candy. Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, no, it was really.
I don't know the patience.
It was really, really great. I think she just was singing it. Like I think she made it up.
But that's kind of cool.
No, I know.
That's sick.
Like she's training herself on the spot.
Yeah, because she's like telling herself, like, okay, I have to wait, like for mommy to come back or whatever. And so that really circled around.
Shout out to Stormy, man.
Yeah.
You know how we're always talking about like, oh, I'm addicted to my phone. Everyone's addicted to their phone, this and that, and whatever that looks like, social media in whatever capacity. Adding to everything that I've already said, like there's a whole nother side of the book as well, or chapters at least within the book, where they talk about how companies use psychology to get into your head, make you buy more. And we already know this, but like to the point where, this is pretty crazy though, to the point where you walk into a store, they know on average you're more likely to turn to your right side. So they have everything posted up on your right side. To the point where you go into a grocery store, majority of the time, it's going to always have the healthy food first. So you're likely to pick up the healthy food first and then justify to yourself to buy the snacks and all the junk food after the fact.
They do that with eye level on grocery store shelves as well.
Yep.
So they put like all the very addictive, like high sugar, like more expensive brand name stuff like at eye level. And then everything else they put like either like at the very, very bottom shelf and stuff like that. So that was
There's psychology behind pictures and film too.
Yeah, but to your point though,
rule of thirds, rule of sixes, all of that stuff.
That's why eye level costs more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. More expensive and stuff.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, the company's got to pay more to have it on
for the shelf space.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Prime real estate.
Exactly.
It just made me think of the movie Focus with Will Smith. You seen it? Nas, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I haven't.
That's a movie that you're gonna want to go check out, bro, because it speaks to exactly just that, the psychology of like ad placement, things that you see that automatically just go into your algorithm and you don't even realize.
They do that in for cannabis too, like for stores. Yeah, so like you can purchase like shelf space like at this one whatever store. So like the bigger. I mean, the more that you spend, the more that you can display, right?
That's actually a big reason why they're not allowed to advertise outside right now.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't even know when
even inside.
Once they got you, they got you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rules around advertising because you can't promote it.
Yeah.
But they just took off like window coverings, so like you can see into the store, but it cannot be like in the front of the store to like entice. It's always like to entice minors. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So
that's gonna change eventually too. Watch. Like,
you think so?
I basically, the trajectory. Like, if they were to
look at the liquor store,
that's in the legislation though.
Yeah, but look at both
different
for now.
Look how they got tighter on that. You can't walk into a convenience store and
see it. Yeah.
What?
Before you can walk into a convenience
cigarettes. It's covered up.
And it's all covered up.
I think you said alcohol.
No, I said look at the LCBO, but then he's like, but look at bogeys. So when you go to a convenience store to buy some cigarettes, it's covered up now.
Look how long they fought that for, though.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying, but it went the other way.
Like even when they wanted to have
different, right?
Even when they wanted pictures of cancer to be on the packaging to show the issues, like look how long that took. Like I don't know, the damage is
those lobbyists are
even weed. I feel like it's already like if you were to look at a chart at the amount of people that have probably started smoking since it got legalized, that shit is probably through the roof.
Oh, for sure.
And then on top of that, if you're to look at
at least 1 of 5.
You know what? Like consumption patterns like didn't change because weed was legalized. The only thing that changed was like the purchasing from the illicit market to the legal market.
What do you mean consumption patterns didn't change?
It's just the professional talking too, eh?
No, but I'm curious to hear this.
Meaning that consumption, just because weed
you weren't buying
legal,
from your local dealer. You went to the store.
Just because weed was legal and more Just because weed was legal doesn't mean that more people just started smoking weed.
You don't think that?
No, I'm telling you that.
Yeah, facts.
How is that a fact? Like, where is this coming from?
Her office.
I would call scam on that because like
I wanted to hit it still. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I feel like there's so many people that didn't have a local drug dealer that are now going to the local dispensary and
that
smoking.
Part too.
And then
so
people
I
didn't want to
really question
smoke
that number
because
trust me, I talked to 1-2 people that work in these dispensaries, and they'll say like, there's police officers that come in here buy regular. There's teachers that are regular buying this shit. And I know those guys weren't doing that stuff.
Exactly.
Oh, the police, the white them.
I would just say it. I would even say it just for like students. Like you see like a whole bunch of Punjabi people. They didn't know no local drug dealer, none of that. But like now it's like they don't even know what they want.
Like, that would be my argument. I know you got facts. I know you got facts.
I hear you, and I also was on the side of like, of course it did because now it's more accessible.
Yeah.
So like, why wouldn't it? And then exactly. I got data that showed that wasn't the case. But it could also not be the case because of the people that they are surveying and what the data is coming from cannot be.
I'm leaning with that.
You know what I mean? Like
some people probably just don't want to give up the truth.
Well, that was the other side of it too, right? So like, there's a margin of error, but overall, like the trajectory and the pattern showed that consumption patterns did not change when weed became when cannabis became legal.
You know what's funny? I'll add another point that they said in the book too. They go if how's it go again?
Question though, are you checking that box if somebody would ask?
Yeah.
You know, if the census were to come around and it asks on the census, it's like,
it's anonymous,
are you?
Oh yeah.
But it is.
I'm just curious.
New products or habits are more likely to be accepted if they don't come across as new, and that's like almost like spot on with what we're saying right now. It's almost like songs. They talk about like songs too. If you play a great hit on the radio, in between that you played a new song, and then you play another great hit, the one in the middle is more likely to become a bigger hit just because it's placed in between the two popular songs already. So it's like, it runs deep, man. Anyway, do yourself a favor. Get yourself that book. Save your life.